I'd like to just finish off this series of lectures with page 106. Bobby talks about going off the beaten path. He was hiking with his kids, and whenever he's hiking with his kids, he always tells them to leave the path. Don't follow the path that everybody else lays. Why? Because even though it's easier, it's much easier to follow the beaten path, but it's not always the right one, right? The verse in Mishlei says, "Holech b'yesharo yirei Hashem." The person who travels with his own understanding, his own yesharo, which means his own integrity, his own way of leading life, that's the person who fears God. And we have to learn that. We have to learn individuality. We have to learn not to do things just because everyone else is doing it. We have to understand what life is really all about. Life is finding ourselves, finding the unique gift that we have to the world, and using it to help other people, using it to appreciate and enjoy our own lives, and using it to help the lives and make the world a better place to be. Bobby has given us a great gift. This book, The Gift to Struggle, it's one of the best books that I've ever read, and it's not complicated. It's simple. Its beauty is in its simplicity. And Bobby has realized, which it took him 18 years of very difficult life, to realize that struggle is a gift. It's a wonderful gift that we've been given, and we shouldn't rebel against our struggles. We shouldn't rebel against our difficulties. We should take them and use them and become much, much better people, as a result. As Bobby right here is at the end of it. So now you begin your journey. This is on page 157 of the student of struggle. Start by openly inviting struggle into your life. Too many people silence or ignore their struggles. We all struggle and be with us for as long as we live. You must decide for yourself that struggle is a good thing, that struggle is a gift. Once you do, identify which struggles have been and reflect deeply on them. As you reflect, consider how they help you become a better version we are today, made you stronger, more resilient, more compassionate. The answer to these questions are the powerful gifts that you have shaped your life. Those are the gifts. This is the work to help you better understanding leadership potential you're becoming. From there, you'll have clarity you need to begin the journey to become the leader you imagine. Your desire to improve must overrule your need for comfort. You'll have to confront the emotions that struggle bring up and develop the courage to share your stories and gift. There's an incredible need in the world for us to learn from one another and to help others, to be more compassionate and kind. You must share your gifts of struggle. We'll all become better people. And he finishes off, let me end with this. I know you can do it. You have more potential than you realize. All hail the underdogs. This is such a powerful message. And this is what we've said already, thousands of classes on this topic, right? That thanking God when things look bad. Things look terrible sometimes. We're sick. We have financial problems. We might have problems with our spouses or our children, but it doesn't matter. These are all gifts. They're not punishments. They're gifts. The gifts we had, we just have to know how to use those gifts, how to implement them, and how to do best. And I'll tell you my dream, right? I've been talking about this for years and years and years. I would like to make a movie which talks about the gift of struggle. So the entire world should know this. And people whose lives are miserable, struggling, depressed, they can make that switch, make that turnabout, right? And really change their lives completely around and find the beauty and light and joy in the darkness, right? As we quoted many times in the Kabbalah, in the Zohar, right? Lefi rova choshech rova or. According to the darkness is the light. The more darkness that exists in your life, the more potential there is to flip that darkness, to radiate and turn into tremendous light, right? I would like a movie to go to the entire world, telling people and showing this alive, how one person can use the gift of struggle to change his life immensely. This is the book Yedidya that I wrote. It's a story of one young man who life was filled with struggles and how he turned it around, right? To make a movie that people should understand this, they should live it, they should breathe it, it should be their reality, right? This is a dream that I have because so many people live in depression, they live in anxiety, and it's because they haven't yet found, it hasn't yet sunk into their mind the incredible gift that exists with struggle. And if people can turn it, and as the Code of Jewish Law says, a rule of life is when anything seemingly bad happens, says everything that the merciful one does, that's God, he does for good. Learn to say that, learn to repeat it, learn to internalize it in your heart and your mind and your whole body, right? Everything that the merciful one does, that's God, he does for the good. This is the most powerful line, I believe, that has ever been said on this planet. right? To recognize that there's no such thing as bad. Everything is how you perceive it. Everything is how you experience it. Everything is how you internalize it and you use it. You could use it for the good or you could use it for the bad. We'll just finish off with a very powerful story from Rabbi Akiva. He lived about 2,000 years ago. And after the temple had been destroyed and everybody was in tears, they were crying. They saw foxes coming out of the holiest, holy part of the temple. And everybody cried. And Rabbi Akiva laughed. And they said, "Why are you laughing?" He said, "Why are you crying? Shouldn't we cry at such a moment of such destruction?" Rabbi Akiva said, "No. Since there's destruction, there will be building, right? Whenever you have destruction, it's always the harbinger of building. To build, you have to first destroy, right? The Maharal explains, right, that before any great thing happens, right, first you need to destroy. You want to make a building, you need to knock down the old building and rebuild a new building. Said Rabbi Akiva, the temple has been knocked down, but it will be rebuilt, and it will be rebuilt even better. As Napoleon said once when he saw a group of Jews sitting outside a synagogue and crying, he said, "Why are they crying? The temple's been destroyed. Why didn't anyone tell me? It was 2,000 years ago." He said, if they're crying for 2,000 years, they'll get it back, right? When destruction is always the harbinger of light and building, right? If you see a big tractor coming and plowing down area, and then one of these machines that bangs the ground to make something new, if you see that happening, then you're seeing the beginning of building. You're seeing building starting to take place. Let's all look at our lives and all the destruction and the banging and the building and the knocking down and realize it's all part of the building. We need that breakdown in order to build again. You need to break down your personality to become more humble, to become more sensitive, to become more kind, more caring. It comes from breaking down. It comes from difficulties. It comes from struggle, right? Struggle is a gift, and if we use the gift of struggle right, they'll become incredible people. Become people who are sensitive, kind, warm-hearted, and want to build the world and make the world a better place to be. So let's all take this and internalize it and really live it and practice it every single thing we do in life.